Hold on. Stupid camera. Let's see if that works. Works enough. It's good enough. What's going on, my Royal Knights? Welcome to Amnesia Collection Edition. I just bought this yesterday, and I thought that I would upload a video. So I'm gonna split this into parts, just separate parts, because I have to work early tomorrow. So that's why I'm not gonna do a full playthrough of this. I'm just gonna cut them into parts. So let's get into this. Sorry I haven't been uploading videos recently. I've just been so busy working.
Don't forget, some things mustn't be forgotten. The shadow hunting me. I must hurry. My name is Daniel. I live in London at Mayfair. What have I done? This is crazy. Don't forget. Don't forget. I must stop him. Focus. My name is... I am Daniel.
Trail and find its source. Got 2 minutes. Bring this chair with me. Anything else? No? Okay. Let's get going. Ah! Stupid door.
Hi, my name is Thomas Grip, and I'm one of the co-founders of Frictional Games. I worked with engine code, gameplay code, design, and many other things for Amnesia. In my commentaries, I will mainly focus on the design behind the different parts of the game. I hope you'll enjoy them.
Whoa. Got a little nauseous there. get moving.
The name of this level is Rainy Hall, and it's supposed to be a combination of atmosphere setter and tutorial for the player. We wanted the player to start the game in a slow way so they could settle in and get used to how the game works. Amnesia is not a game with constant action happening all the time, and we wanted to have a constrained map where the player gets used to this. The only thing you need to do is to follow the track and get to the end of the level. Also, following tracks is something that becomes very useful in later levels, so we try to teach players this from the start.
Wrong button. What was that? Let's just keep going. Let's go this way. Whoa. Okay. Is that it? Oh, wait, no. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it is. I thought that was the lever. Give me. Get out. Is there anything up there? What are those? Those look like elf hats. Or weird-looking cones. What's that? Oof. Where's my sanity? Crystal clear. Okay. I know PewDiePie uses this type of chair when he played Amnesia and he called it Mr. Chair. But for now, this chair's gonna be my protection. Nothing. Wait, are there any paintings in here? That I missed? So dark. Got a broom. Thing behind this painting? No. No. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's rotate you. Huh, still good. Okay. Let's just keep going. Excuse me. Nothing. Slight headache. Still slight headache. Better not be anything in the cupboards. Nope. Man, it's so dark in here. I'm all out of tinder boxes. If there's anything back here that is useful, not that I can see. Old archives.
This is one of the first level that we created for the game, and it was initially part of the archives level, which we will reach in a bit. Amnesia started out with a pretty different design, and when we redesigned it the maps did not fit. This caused us to split them up and scatter them out. So in the first design, after this corridor, the archives level was supposed to follow, and the room lying there now was built much later. In fact, the first designs did not have Daniel waking up with an amnesia at all, and it was actually added later on. In the first story draft, Daniel still had hidden memories, but he was unaware of this at the start of the story. However, as we redesigned things, we found the waking up with amnesia thingy, although a bit cliché, much more fitting.
I have no idea what that is. Just a Bible. I need to get closer, I can't even read it. Just still can't read it. I don't have a lantern. What the hell? think there's anything in here. I think just those 2 tinder boxes.
Hi there, my name is Luis Rodero. I'm mostly the tool programmer, level scripter at times, and perhaps the main reason why the rest of the core team at Fictional Games is pretty much forced to speak English at our internal meeting, as I am the only non-Swede here. Now, what a Spaniard is doing with a bunch of Swedish guys is a whole different story we won't be discussing today. By the way, I will be talking mostly about tools and scripting. Hope you like it. The editors themselves went through a lot of design changes during the development. Not that many in visual appeal as in internal stuff, like data structures and handling. This happened mostly because at the beginning we only knew the basic stuff that needed to be in them, and as they grew in features and functionality, they started to kind of fall apart, mostly due to my big lack of previous experience in projects like this. Right now, aloud, what the hell still sounds in my head when I look at some parts of the code, but I am still proud of them. They can also get a bit buggy at times, but hopefully this won't happen again in the future, and I already got some nice ideas for the next iteration of the tools.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Oh, gosh damn, I'm stuck. How in the hell do you get stuck? Gosh damn it. Fuck. I don't want to go. I don't want to have to go and do this all over again. Great, I'm stuck. Damn it. Books are in the way. That's why I can't get out. I'm gonna have to redo this. Son of a bitch. No. Why? Finally. Go down here. These two tinder boxes. There's PewDiePie's, one of PewDiePie's friends, Stefano. Has to be something. Aha! Stupid bosses, you were trying to hide a tinderbox from me. I need to use one of you. Nothing. Oh, I'm almost out of oil. You know, just in case. Oh, no. Oh, thank goodness. Nothing. I have 4 tinder boxes.
Hello everyone, my name is Mikael, and I'm the writer for Amnesia, The Dark Descent. I think we can all feel the story kick-starting as we finish the letter from Daniel. The game itself is just filled with confusion, and I think we're really doing the player a service keeping it simple in the beginning. Basically try to take your revenge on Alexander, that is the premise of the game. You don't really need to dive any deeper than that, but hoping that the player will care about the story, they have the entire game in front of them to decide if they think killing Alexander is justified or not.
What is that? I'll read that note here in a second.
August, 1839. I wish I could ask how much you remember. I don't know if there will be anything left after I consume this drink. Don't be afraid, Daniel. I can't tell you why, but know this. I choose to forget. Try to find comfort and strength in that fact. There is a purpose. You are my final effort to put things right. God willing, the name Alexander of Brandenburg still invokes bitter anger in you. If not, this will sound horrible. Go to the inner sanctum, find Alexander, and kill him. His body is old and weak, and yours, young and strong. He will be no match for you. One last thing. A shadow is following you. It's a living nightmare, breaking down reality. I have tried everything, and there is no way to fight back. You need to escape it as long as you can. Redeem us both, Daniel. Descend into the darkness where Alexander waits and murder him. Your former self, Daniel.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Mark Nikander. I'm a 3D artist and level creator at Fictional Games. I started out as a helper during Penumbra Overture, and I was finally hired as a full-time artist in the later part of Penumbra Black Plague.
I don't believe I have. Is it connected to the... what did you call it?
The inner sanctum. My most precious chamber, Daniel. And it lies well beyond the refinery. In fact, It lies beneath the very stone of Brennenburg.
Get these chairs out of the way. Ooh, tinderbox.
The entrance hall was first shown in our first gameplay trailer, and while the layout hasn't changed much, the details certainly have. We build our levels from sets of pieces, in this case, the custom-based set. While the carefully planned set pieces made level building very easy, the levels became very similar and we had to make special pieces to the levels. Now, 1.5 years later, the special pieces make up about half of the pieces in the custom-based set, and we made changes to incorporate these objects into the earlier levels. An example of this can be seen if you compare the hole in the roof now with the one from the first trailer. The new roof was made in the middle of the project when we built level 9 back hall. A special version was made to give the roof hole in the entrance hall more depth and detail.
Scattered throughout the game, you can see some signs written in Latin. The reason for using it is that it was considered a language of culture and science, as most scientific and philosophy authors wrote their works and treatises in it. As we are dealing with a castle dwelled by a pretty smart guy that has been around since the Renaissance period, Latin all around the place was something we should expect.
I did not mean
Being
to.
the only guy in the team that had a direct contact with Latin, in high school to be more precise, well, it was kind of logical that any translation to be done would have my name on it. Translating stuff into Latin was kind of strange and fantastic to do. At first I had a classic Latin dictionary, so if I had to translate any modern term, I would have to track its etymology down to the Latin equivalent, or look for a synonym or similar expression that had a direct translation. Then I had the luck to come across some dictionary for modern stuff online that addressed most of this stuff for a huge lot of terms, so it couldn't have come in a better time. Some days I would have Sebastian dropping a list of 9 or so entries to be translated, and before finding this dictionary it was quite a lot of work. On a side note, we even had a choose your Latin poll on a couple entries, just to pick the one that sounded better for everyone. Results were pretty unanimous, by the way. For some final words on this, I must confess that, while I was pretty good at this in high school, that was like 15 years ago. So right now I'm not 100% sure translations are correct at all, but I took the time to make them at least plausible. So my apologies go in advance to any Latin guru up there playing the game, as I myself get on the verge of losing my temper when I see stuff like this obviously made up.
What's wrong button? Find the key for the wine cellar. Hello? Fucking terror. I have no fucking clue what I'm going to expect. Or what they're gonna throw at me.
Particle editor is also a fine part of the tool bundle, and it is what we use to create particle effects for maps and events. We use particles to do nice effects like the flames in torches and the smoke that comes out from them. All we have to do is add one or more particle emitters, set up some parameters like starting position and speed, on all sorts of fadings in size, color or speed. It's funny how you can simulate all kinds of effects with such simple elements. I very much recommend you to try it yourself.
Which way should I go? Okay, I can't go up. What was that? What was that? I know that was no moose man. It didn't sound like it. So there's only one way for me to go. Should I give it up? Yeah. The lack of a chimney to properly vent fumes from my most recent experiments has taken its toll on many of my less stable ingredients in storage. Some seem unaffected, but many are strained by the fumes and will be difficult to salvage. I shall do what I can and move them to the wine cellar. Find the key. Oh, chemical ingredients have been moved from the laboratory to the wine cellar. Evidence in the laboratory has revealed that combining 4 chemicals can create a powerful acid.
There should be more coop rats. Let me see. And 1 part aquaforce.
Ooh, tinderbox. Give me. One day I will return. If it wasn't for the thought of you, my love, I wouldn't be able to go on. When I find myself doing terrible things, I take comfort in you. As long as I am able to think of you and long for a life together, I know I'm better than the others. I weep for them. They lust for power without restraint, where I only crave fair judgment and a safe return. This is my 3rd attempt to produce artificial vitae. Former compounds lack the potency I need, but I sense I'm close. Calamine and orpiment are given, and the cupright binds them well. This time I will attempt aqua regia instead of aqua fortis, in hope it will produce a more even solution. The experiment was unsuccessful. The solution is highly acid. And proves impractical to put to any use except as a detergent. Organic tissue reacts especially violently to the solution and should be handled with the greatest care. I might be able to use the recipe, but I'm losing hope that I will find an alchemic solution to my predicament. Ow. Refinery.
This is one of the many hub levels in the game. And this is a design concept that we started out with in Penumbra. The idea is to give the player some freedom on where to go.
Some sort of organic tissue blocks the path to the refinery.
Objective.
Can it be
In
dissolved?
this level, the slime obstacle is a thing that the player needs to get past, and all other levels then have things needed to do so. The slime itself is one of the few puzzles left from the initial designs, and the one I'm probably the least proud of. Now that the slime appears all around, it feels a bit forced that you need to have a potion on the slime. Many testers also complained that they wanted other options in getting rid of the slime, like burning it. However, creating a potion is the central theme for this hub, so we had to let it be. I don't think it's that bad, but we probably could have redesigned it if we had time.
Need a crowbar. A whole new tool set?
If you haven't followed our development blog back when it started, you might have missed one of the biggest changes in our production pipeline. 2 years back, we started a toolset side project to ease and speed up the creation of content for the game. I'd say the level editor, which is what we, or more specifically James, Mark and Marcus, have used to build all the halls and corridors you are working through right now, is the big start of the pack. Its workings in a nutshell, while all the models and assets are actually made in software like Maya or Blender, everything geometry-wise in the levels is put together in it. Then lighting and sweet details like decals and fog are added in. While this approach might sound simple, really nice stuff can come out from it, as you can see in the game.
Just waiting for it to load.
May 1839. The unflinching African sun has continued to plague our expedition, making it impossible to dig until dusk. How Professor Herbert managed to find the location in these vast plains of nothingness remains a mystery to me. When I asked him about the tomb again, he told me about the legend of Tin Hanan, the mother of us all. An interesting story in its own right, but I can't help feeling there's more. Later that evening, we uncovered a passage beneath the dunes leading to a sand-covered stone structure. The professor was confident that tomorrow I shall lead the men in...
Later that evening, we uncovered a passage beneath the dunes, leading to a sand-covered stone structure. The professor was confident it was the tomb. It was the tomb we sought and ordered the others to clear the way. Late into the dark, cold night, tomorrow I shall lead the men into the ancient structure, hoping to reach the burial chamber. No matter what the professor is keeping from me, the dig should yield something interesting to take back to London and the British Museum. What's to find over here? In case if there's something back there. Nope. Make sure there's nothing underneath. I missed. Nothing. At least I can't get stuck back here. So no. I hereby offer my full attention and services to Alexander Baron of Brennenburg. This contract will reign for a total of 3 years, when my freedom shall return to me. In addition, Alexander Baron of Brennenburg is to recommend my services as the Prussian royal court and within the sanctum of the Order of the Black Eagle. May no man break the seal. This seal. Wilhelm, House of Gerich.
Another piece of the toolset is the model editor, used to create the entities you are interacting with while playing. Basically, we take a model and set up some parameters like physical bodies, joints, and user-defined variables. We can also attach sub-entities to them, like lights, particle systems. When an entity is finally set up, it is ready to be placed in a level using the level editor. Examples of entities here are doors, lamps, most furniture, critters.
Nothing.
"17th of May, 1839. My hands tremble as I write. I feel a need to document my tribulation, for I fear that my memory will fail me if I linger. Today, the crew... I was trapped.
Today, I took some men and ventured into the dark ancient passage we uncovered, our torches buried faintly in the murky air as we slowly made our way underground. The men were superstitious and fearful. They argued loudly, and I felt their strange language getting to me. I mustered my strength and yelled at them to continue down the slopes and broken steps. Incredibly carved passage confused me. It looked much older than the fourth. century structure we had expected. The twisting path emerged into a great antechamber. The walls were lined with statues unlike any I'd ever seen. Despite their unearthly quality, I felt a strange familiarity toward them, which haunts me still. At the far end of the chamber, a great slab, a stone sealed off whatever lay ahead. I gave the order to raise it, and as I pushed through the narrow space, the heavy stone suddenly dropped, sealing me inside. I was trapped. Let's not go that way yet. So I haven't gone down this path yet. What was that? Nothing. Give me that dough. Hey! Stupid chair. Give me.
When I started writing, I had only outlined the framework for the story and the first few levels in the game design document, so I ended up finalizing a lot of material for the first levels, and then when those were done, we planned out the last 2/3 or so. This had a funny effect since I had to not only cater to the story but to stay true to the stuff I've written for the first levels. Usually you can go back and forth while writing and change things, but if you have already recorded voices, you really shouldn't because of the costs. So the first text really shaped the rest of the material in an interesting way, and made them matter in a way I hadn't thought about. I really like how this thickens the story elements as I am able to jump back into the material and keep using and reinforcing certain concepts. Agrippa is of course the most extreme effect of this method, which grew from a small reference to becoming one of the most important characters in the game.
Or now waste my oil.
Much of the castle is old and hasn't been tended to for centuries. When the shadow arrives, it won't take long until things start falling apart.
We're just buying time anyway. Let's do what we can.
There isn't much to be done about the wars. We should reinforce weak structures. The ground will tremble and there's a risk everything will cave in on us, especially downstairs. Here, and there. Let's get the servants working on it.
Still haven't found any laudanums or sanity potions. There's just maps. Kingdom of Prussia, Central Prussia. Another tinderbox. No key, still. Oh, what?
May 1839. After pounding the unforgiving stone wall for what seemed like an eternity, I realized it was hopeless. I was trapped. I fell to the ground, gasping for air, trying to focus. That's when I saw a faint blue shimmer. My weakened body was heavy to carry, but I managed to push myself toward the enchanting light. It was waiting for me. Enclosed in dark nothingness, I felt myself drawn to the mystic light. I reached out, closing it in my hands. The faint glow escaped my fingers and began to spark brightly and spirit me away, unlocking alien memories of spiraling towers, endless deserts, and impossible geometry. The next thing I can remember is the grating sound of stone being lifted, the voices of the Arabs pulling me to safety, and grasped firmly in my hands was the broken pieces of a most peculiar relic.
You have to be swift when you activate the first one. You hear that? If it stops, you'll have to start over.
Isn't all this a bit excessive?
You can never be too careful, Daniel.
There was some sort of secret door mechanism in the history room. If you're hiding anything. No. If you want to read this, go ahead. It's too long for me to read. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Nothing? Okay. Wilhelm and his tools have endangered my research long enough with their absent-minded handling of the human vessels. The sheriff is keeping a watchful eye on the forest and is killing my trusty servants. It's just a matter of time until they follow the trail to Brennenburg.
Where's that certificate?
What?
What do you call it? I forgot to take it to work and print it. I told you to get it for me. Shit. Is it dated? 28th, the day of May. Okay.
Sorry about that. I'm back. Let's... Back. Oh boy. Oh boy, do do do. Oh shit. Nope, 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 nope. Close. That's good to see. Just like that. I'm out of sight. Crap. Oh. The wine cellar key. Now here's the hard part. Having to get back to the wine cellar. Oh, I have to go the way the monster's at. That was a close call. I didn't even know where the monster was. The sound. His roar. Son of a bitch. Okay, it's not this way. It's down here. Dunes were like waves in a sluggish sea, while the caravan moved, the land appeared motionless, but encamped, the hills moved. Check real quick. Yeah, there's nothing here. Alright. You know what? I'm gonna leave this here. If you guys enjoyed. If you guys have. Oh, crap. Ow!
Where did the Baron go?
Who cares? He left us enough wine to last us a lifetime. Or at least until tomorrow.
liked it, leave a like. And I'll see you guys next time. Where's, there it is.